Clark. Not very good with speeches.
Would Coach Rao stand up and come receive his gift? Coach Rao was my position coach this year, and I really got to know him well, and I really like him, and I really respect him. And he made me a better player, even though he never threw me down or anything like that.
Coach Saunders, if you'd please come up. One of my favorite memories of Coach Saunders when we were in 8th grade watching on the sidelines and he knocked somebody's helmet off and he went crazy. But everything the receivers learn is from him. Oh, he told me to say that. But really, we had a great time with him. He was always fun with us, and we always had a good time. Thanks a lot, Coach Saunders.
Coach Bogus. Well, everybody knows what wins championships, and that's calisthenics and special teams. So, Coach Bogus, could you come on up here?
Coach Wimberly. I've been with Coach Wimberly for 4 years, and I enjoy every minute of it. And I just want to thank him for everything he's done for me. And thanks, Coach Wimberly. Come on, mate.
Coach Long. Coach Long was the new offensive line coach this year, and in case you didn't know him, he's that really big guy that stands on the sidelines. He's quite intimidating, but anyway.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Coach Freeze. Coach Freeze coached me for 4 years, and they've all been good under his kind, patient, loving tutelage. And I really appreciate him teaching me the life lessons and, patience and love and kindness and everything. So I appreciate it, Coach Freeze.
Coach Pearson. He was the defensive line coach. And I just want to thank him for all the time he's put in for us and all the things that he's taught us, like discipline and all that stuff.
All right, let's give all the coaches. Coach Ral's been up here. Oh, okay. I don't even know what to do. All right, I'm glad that worked out. Let's give all these coaches another big hand for everything they've done.
I actually got a little earlier notice about talking this time. I got to put a few notes down. I didn't get asked like 5 minutes before, but that's all right. I like doing that. It's exciting. This season, we started out, and people's expectations of us was not up to Briarcrest standard, I guess you could say. In the past, we lost 23 seniors last year, and people were expecting us 5-5 at best. So I heard maybe 6-4, if we got lucky or something like that. But I think I give it to all of our guys. We didn't listen to anything that people said about that or anything. We played with heart every game. We proved that. First starting with Ridgeway, coming back after halftime and coming back to beat the Roadrunners. I bet they wish they could play that game over again right now. But we really showed, Ridgeway, MUS, ECS, Catholic. We played our heart out this year, and we've earned everything that we've accomplished. And I just can't say how proud I am of my team and everything. And we went on to be the first state championship football team in Briarcrest history, and that's something we're really proud of. I'd like to personally thank some people myself. First, I'd like to thank every one of the coaches for all their hard work they put in with us. Some of us, our first year was started, when we were freshmen. This is their first, graduating class to have all the way through. Coach Clark. And sorry, we're still kind of okay. Their hard work, dedication. We had several new coaches come in this year that had to, some pretty big shoes to fill from last year, and I think they came in and did an incredible job. I couldn't imagine anybody that could have done it better, and we owe a lot to them for all their hard work this year. Secondly, I'd like to thank the cheerleaders. I said something before at the that pep rally before the Catholic game, I think it was, about we don't get to thank y'all enough. We really do appreciate everything y'all do. I got to tell you, there's nothing like hearing 10 or 15 cute girls on the sideline yelling your name in the middle of the game. That always gets you excited. But we really do appreciate everything y'all have done for us this year. Yes, I did come up with that joke myself. We really do appreciate everything y'all have done this year, making signs, yelling for us, making us goodie bags for the bus. We like, if you can't tell, some of us like those goodies a little bit more than others. But we really do appreciate all that y'all have done this year, and we want to thank y'all so much for all the hard work. Next, we'd like to say, thank you to your parents. It was y'all that, probably got us, most of us started at a young age. You've been there to support us for every game, and I can't tell you how much we all appreciate you. Thanks for everybody that came to the games and were yelling us on. Y'all have excuse me, how much that helped us. Y'all were really our 12th man on the field, and we couldn't have done it without y'all. Finally, I'd like to say thank you to Coach Freeze. He's been with us, working with us for the past several years, and I just want to say thank you for believing in us from the beginning of this season. You really knew that we had it in us to come this year, and you never gave up once on us. And finally, I'd personally like to thank my teammates. These past several years, whoa, it's over. I can't tell y'all how much I've enjoyed playing with y'all. This has really been the time of my life, and I will never forget any one of y'all. If y'all ever need anything or, want to talk to somebody or something, don't hesitate to call me. I will never forget y'all. And thank y'all for making my high school career as best as you could, and that we went out on top. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
That's one of our great leaders right there, John Stauffer. Y'all can laugh, but we've been a different team without that man. This year's been awesome. I don't know, most of y'all don't know me or what I've been through, but it's so great being back at Briarcrest and see y'all out there and just everything we've gone through together. It's been incredible, and I want to thank all y'all so much. And especially if y'all could do me a favor, just stand up and give these cheerleaders a big hand, because they've done so much for us. You can't even imagine. Thank you all very much. You know, I think John hit on just about everything, but I especially want to thank the coaches and the coaches' wives for allowing them to put in so much time to get our team prepared to win these games. And without y'all's, I don't know the word. I'm not married, so I don't know the words to use yet, but I'm going to say kindness and allowing them to come watch film on Saturdays and Sundays and just getting us ready to play the best we can. And it's just been a great time, and I thank each and every one of y'all very much.
That's a good group, isn't it? Let's hear it for the Briarcrest seniors again. When John was making his remarks, I saw my wife Carolyn nod her head when he mentioned one word. From the MUS game on, every time I came home after a ball game, I kept saying, Carolyn, these guys play with heart. For the first time in 16 years, I've seen a team play every game with heart. That's not to say that there haven't been players over the years that have played with heart, but I have never seen a team respond like this one. I became a believer after the MUS game. I admit, yeah, let's hear it for that. That's a great game, wasn't it? And I admitted to these guys at the last pep rally that I was one of those that said 5-5, maybe 6-4. I have repented of my sins and confessed them, and they have forgiven me. But I can tell you this, they're a super group, and I am proud to be the voice of the saints to this group of young men. They have done Briarcrest proud. Now, it is again my distinct privilege and pleasure to introduce somebody who's a friend, but also somebody who I think is one of the finest coaches, not just in Memphis and Shelby County in the state of Tennessee, but I think in all this country. And I wish all of you would welcome to the podium now the coach of the state champion Briarcrest Saints, Coach Hugh Freeze.
Thank y'all. Thank you. I'm very humbled. That's awesome for you to give me that applause. But I'm just so thankful we can come here tonight, and I don't have to, I don't have to talk about the things that could have been, would have been, should have been, and we get to come here and just celebrate. And I'm thankful to God. And one thing we preached to these kids all year long, more than any other year probably, was we wanted to have a group of young men that had thankful hearts. Thankful hearts from what their parents have done, for what God has done, and just the blessings of life that we have had as a football team and as individuals. And I could stand here and thank people all night, and all of you are deserve that. But I would leave people out if I started, so just please take my sincere gratitude. This has been just a wonderful group of parents, so supportive of everything we tried to do. And it could not be done without a total team effort. And it starts with the parents all the way down to us and our players. So thank you so much. I've got some people I need to recognize before we really honor our seniors and then get to watch a video. First, I want to recognize our coaches. I remember very distinctively sitting in the conference room at the school before team camp. We had lost 4 critical coaches off of last year's staff. 2 decided to retire. 1 moved with his wife to North Carolina, and 1 decided to take a position at a rival school. I remember sitting there and telling these coaches, my first statement to them was this: guys, I want to tell you what's being said. What's being said is 5-5, maybe 6-4 with our schedule.
people questioning, I had several calls from some of you. Who are we going to get to coach this position? Who are we going to get to coach this position? And had a good feeling about all these guys after meeting with them. And I remember sitting there and saying to them this, guys, I want to tell you one thing about me, those of you that don't know me. I absolutely love a challenge. We're going to be challenged this year. The gauntlet has been laid out, and we're going to prove them all wrong. And I remember telling those coaches that, and I remember asking some of them that had been with me a couple of years to step up to the plate and do some more things and work a little harder. And all year long, they did. The new guys bought right in to our system, and it was a smooth transition for the most part. And we stand here today to celebrate a state championship largely because of them, and I just want them to know how much I appreciate them. They were totally loyal to me, and I could ask for no better group of men to celebrate this with. Thank you, coaches. And our coaches' wives, if you're one of our coaches and you have a wife here, we have a little gift that I want you to come on up and get, please, and give them to them. My wife is the most supportive wife I know, and she allows me to be who I am and to do what I do, and very, very seldom do I take much grief about it. And she's been pregnant through this whole year, and I wouldn't have known it because she just is so kind and sweet to me, and I just want her to know how much I appreciate her. She's a great mother to our kids who are the joy of my life, and I just want her to know I thank her and I appreciate her for letting me be me. Coaches, come get something. Ma'am. There's a pink bag there. I have no idea what it is, though. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that. We are expecting another child December 27th. Donna Regal, our athletic secretary, and Lisa Cannon, my secretary that works with John and I, they keep me straight. They do so much for our football boys. Every time we go on a trip, they are organizing and planning and calling, and it would not be right for me not to recognize them. I wish they could make their way here if they can. I have a little something for you ladies also. We have the best training staff in all of high school sports. I believe that with all my heart. I say this every time we get to do these banquets. I mean that they're the best at what they do. It starts with Dr. Barry Phillips at Campbell's Clinic and goes down to John Rose, and from John down to Lance, Brent, Catherine, and Chris. And we definitely want to give them something just to show a small token of our appreciation. So you guys come forward, please. Thank you. as much as I harassed John about all our injuries and stuff, he knows me so well, and he's gotten to where he takes it all in stride. And even on game nights, when I'm wound tight as I can, he knows how to take me and just handle me. So I just appreciate him. And Dr. Phillips has always been so kind. We make a phone call out to Campbell's, and he sees our kids as soon as he can, as soon as possible. So knock on wood, but we had no really serious injuries this year, besides maybe a shoulder that kept a kid out a good while and a knee a couple of weeks. But at the state championship game, we had all our kids that we needed, and a lot of that's due to them. Ray Mullins, the voice of the Saints. Where are you, Ray? Come on, buddy. Football season wouldn't be the same without him. Joe Rowell. Joe has been not only a supporter of Briarcrest athletics for many, many years. He is a tremendous booster of ours, but more than that, he's a friend of mine. He helps me out in so many situations, whether it's counseling or whatever I need. But he also keeps our stats for football. He and Alan Pittman and Chris Taylor, and I know Sandra, his wife, lets him do a lot of things to be with us and have fun with us, and I want him to give this to her, or take her out with this, if you don't mind. Come on, Joe. Last two, and I'll get to the seniors. Dr. Fletcher has been our chaplain for gosh, I'm not even sure how many years. I've been here 11, and I guess he's been with me for 7 or 8 of those 11. Faithful to be with us whenever we're going somewhere, he's there. And to do our pregame chapels and things for our kids. And I don't know of any happier man on a couple Saturday nights ago than him. I watched that video, and he looked like he could play. He was leaping so high. So, Dr. Fletcher, if you could come up, please. Thank you. And the last guy, he probably won't come up here knowing him, but it's our athletic director, Carly Powers. He's so supportive of our football program, of me as a coach. He helped me for many years. When I first got this head job here, I was the youngest coach in Tennessee high school athletic association at the time, and the first thing I did is go after him. He was a head coach at a nearby school, and convinced him to come back over and to help us get this thing where we wanted it to be, and he has. And unfortunately, he didn't get to experience the pinnacle of it this year as far as coaching is concerned, but he had a son on the team, and no one behind the scenes is more supportive of our football program than Coach Powers. A couple of you coaches, come help me, please. Now's the time we get to talk about these seniors for a few minutes. I guess they're in numerical order there, and we'll just take them kind of as they go. Preston McDonald. We're going to play a little game with you. If you catch this ball coming up here, oh, Coach Saunders told him how to be a receiver, huh? Coach. Man, I love getting to talk about these kids. But Preston McDonald, someone asked me to write an article for a paper after we won it this year, and I kind of just went in numerical order, and I got to number 2, Preston McDonald, and I found myself just kind of writing and a paragraph later, I'm thinking, well, I don't know if they're going to let me put all this in there because this is just about one kid. But he was so easy to talk about because of one thing, encouraging spirit.
This guy never had anything bad to say about any of his teammates, any situation. Whatever was dealt to him, bring it on. And that's one of the reasons why this team overachieved, went 11-2 and won a state championship, is because the kids, under the leadership of kids like this that just said, I'm a total team player. I'll catch the balls if you throw them to me. I'll block if you need to, even if I'm made fun of in film when somebody else hits me, but you took him out, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
All right. But Preston McDonald just, he always had the same smile on his face at every practice. It was a joy for him to be there, a joy to be a part of this team. And gosh, kids like this are rare to find, and we're going to miss him a whole lot. And Preston, I just want you to know I appreciate you, man.
Thank you,
Thank
Coach.
you. Preston. Hold it up. Robert Towns. Hey, let me see it again. Who is this, guys? Now, what do I say about a guy like Robert? Broke the all-time touchdown record in school history. Broke the all-time touchdown record for a single season, 27. 26. It's 26, but he told me it'd be 27 if Barrett Day hadn't clipped on the play against Hardy. I mean, Robert's the ultimate competitor. Quiet, reserved, but when it came time to put that gear on, he knew what it was for. He wanted the ball in his hands on every critical play, and so did we. And as you can tell in the overtime period, how many times he touched it. He's going to continue his playing career somewhere special, and he's going to do great things because of the type of character he has, the type of family he has. His mom and dad have been just a joy to. I remember when he first came here. Where are they, Robert? I remember when he first came here thinking, you know, this kid Mike can play a little bit. And to see him turn into the man he has and the leader he has and just the competitor, it's been a joy to watch. And we're blessed to have had his family and him in our school. It's a better place because of Robert Towns, because he has been in it. And you can't replace people like Robert. He did so much for our football team, and it didn't matter what we asked him, he was going to be good at it. And Robert, we're going to miss you. Thank you. John Stauffer. If you, John went and took a picture today, and he kind of organized these guys at the Liberty Bowl to take his picture. These all Metro guys. I think they're going to try to put it on the screen. Sorry, Garrett, you look out of place, buddy. Oh, when writing in that paper about John, I just he was the spiritual leader of this football team. everyone that knows anything about our program hopefully knows that we stress that as a very important issue in our life. We think it's a reflection of our relationship with God. That football can be just another avenue that we can express that. He believed that very strongly and also lived it and walked it. I will never, ever forget, as long as I coach, number 6 sprinting to me after the end of regulation in the state championship game, and he's holding his hand up, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Stauffer's dislocated a finger, or he's broken a finger, or I'm ready to holler for John to get over here and do something to get him going. And he just looks at me with all the faith he can muster. Coach, it's just going to take 5. He believed it. He just knew he had all the faith in the world. And he said, Coach, it's just going to take 5 quarters to do it. And it's the kind of year he had. I remember we moved him back to our Mike backer, and it was just like Daddy's home. And he started making plays and playing with passion. But playing, the thing I most remember him for is just the faith he had, the faith that we were going to get the job done no matter what people thought, no matter what the outside world said or the influences around us said or what our school said or what friends said. We knew within ourselves we could get it done. And he had faith in me as a coach and in our coaching staff, and that is so appreciative. And John's going to move on to do great things, and we're going to miss him. John, thank you, buddy. Josh Fletcher. I know he's got great hands. You know, when you coach a kid every day for many, many years, it seems like many years, and as a position coach, you get to spend so much more time around them than you do the other guys at practice. I have started the last few years moving around more, but I do always have my hand in the quarterbacks. And one of the greatest compliments I think I could give Josh would be the fact that no matter how many tail chewings I give him in practice, in games, and they were many, many over the years, he had this uncanny ability to still believe he's the man. And he kind of reminds me of some people that I know, but I don't know if I've had some great quarterbacks. James Olson graduated last year, was dear to me. But Josh Fletcher believed in Hugh Freeze. And he just believed we were going to come up with a plan that was going to give him a chance to win and his team a chance to win. And he made that evident to me, and no matter how hard I was on him on the week preparing for games, I think he always knew I had belief in him that he could get it done. And he threw some of the best balls in that state championship game that got them off of us some early on. And I knew he could do it, and I saw him in warm-ups, and, man, he threw the ball in warm-ups like I'd never seen him before. And I didn't go over and talk to him at all because I just wanted him to continue to do that. And he told me after last year's – there's so many stories I could tell, but after last year's state championship game, heartbreaking for him, for me, for everyone, he told me after that game, he said, Coach Freeze, I promise you this. If you get us back here, we'll win it. And that was a year ago. But I reminded him of that before we hit that field that Saturday. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
And been a joy and a privilege to coach him and his family, to be a part of our program. He wants to walk on at Alabama and be a receiver, and it would not shock me at all if he achieves that. He has wonderful, wonderful hands, could be a great, great receiver. We're going to miss you, Josh. Appreciate it. I love you. Nick Cavaliers. I probably shouldn't throw it to him. He's had a finger that's kept him out all year, and I don't want to. I don't want to hurt that. When writing about Nick in that paper, I simply said this: he finished the course. In today's time, there's something to be said about that. So many kids decide to quit football. It's the toughest sport I know. It's when you're out there and it's 120 degrees in August in that helmet, you don't want to play. And a lot of people turn it in and say, I'm just not going to do it. Not any fun. And it's not any fun in August. The fun came later. And Nick got some bad news early on about a tendon that had separated in his hand, and it had retracted back up in his palm, and they had to do surgery, and he could not play, couldn't get a release to play. Senior, scheduled to either be, to be in the hunt for our kicking job or also possibly play some receiver. And got that bad news and didn't get a release until, I guess, week 8 or week 9 of the season. Of course, by then, things had kind of taken shape and didn't work out exactly like he had hoped. But he told me during all the difficult times, I'm going to finish the course. I committed to this football team, and I will finish it. And because of that, he has our respect, and he deserves our applause. And, again, he is much deserving of this state championship as the rest of them. So, Nick, thank you, buddy. Thank you, Coach. Thank you. Did Melvin make it? Daniel Worley.
No.
Daniel Worley I wrote about him in that paper. I said the first thing I have to say about him is he's like me. He's not a Einstein. But yet he has this ability to, no matter how many coverages we throw at him during a week and then change them on Tuesday, and then Coach Pavette and I meet after Tuesday practice and change another one till Wednesday, he had the ability to get everybody in the right coverage on Friday night. And that was the most important thing to us. But he many times would look at us and just be confused, and I would know he was confused. I got to read his mind a lot, but he got to where he wanted to be vocal back in the secondary and to lead us back there and make sure everybody was on the same page. He gets a lot of flack from his teammates and others about the second possession BGA had on the little post route they ran that was wide open and they didn't complete it. But Daniel, was that your guy?
No. No, sir.
We won't say whose it was, but he wore number
8.
But Daniel, also, those of you who are avid football fans and watch the game real closely would know this about him. he played on all our special teams and was awesome at that. He's long snapped our punts this year, and we did not have one bad snap the whole year. And as you know, we played in a lot of games where the conditions were not real good, and we did not have one bad snap the whole year. And special teams were important. Coach Bogus did a great job with working with these guys, but it's seniors like this that say, Coach, I want to be on those because I know how important they are. I've seen what they do. And thus we come out on top with a big victory because our special teams usually won the battle. We won that facet of the game in most games. And Daniel's family has been so good to me and my wife. And I've got to coach both of his older brother and him. And it's just been a pleasure having them in our program, and I hate to see them go. I really do. Thank you, Daniel. Michael Hellman. He wanted to be a receiver. I want to tell you, you football fans, one other this is the most astounding fact. And I've coached a long time and been around football my whole life. You can win a lot of football games doing this. Robert Towns, Melvin Cole carried the football over 200 times between the two of them. One fumble the whole year. That's amazing. Melvin had 0 fumbles the whole year, and he runs hard. You usually have a fumble or two. But that is a stat that I still don't believe, but it's the truth. And we just had one lost fumble the whole year between those two running. Michael Hellman.
I was wondering when you were going to start.
Oh. Man, I tell you, this guy and I, we've gone through we've been in the valleys and on the highs together, and you know, you can get emotional when you talk about young men overcoming adversity in their life. And you know, we had a senior meeting before we walked to the stadium that day, and I remember talking about Michael and listening to him talk just a little bit, but the fact that and I told him, I said, you know, Michael, I've tried to cut deals with God. I've tried to do a lot of different things so that you kids can end this thing the right way, but I want to tell you one of the things I'm so proud of is the way you handled a bad situation in your life. And one of the greatest happy moments of my coming into this year was when we started talking to Michael, and I really felt like he wanted to come back and be a part of our program. And of course, he knew, I think, that I wanted that badly. I thought he could add something to our football team. And not only did he come back and add something, he was a vital, vital part. He had a game of his life in the state championship game on defense, made critical tackle after critical tackle. And to see him come back just from what could have been, and to see him stand up and handle it and to turn things around into his favor and to end up a champion, it thrills my soul. Michael, I'm so glad you came back and to be a part of our football program. And, man, this year we would not have the laughs we had without you. And we're going to miss you, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. You should never underestimate his sneakiness. Garrett Vaughn. I can't get too emotional with Garrett, or I definitely don't cry with Garrett because this guy makes me laugh. One of my favorite movies is Tombstone, and that's a little before y'all's time, evidently, but I make the boys watch it on every road trip we go on, and there's a little part in there where Wyatt Earp, everybody really is not crazy about Doc Holliday, and he says, I like Doc Holliday, he makes me laugh. And that's the way I feel about Garrett Vaughn. He makes me laugh. And I remember him thinking about not playing football, and I persuaded him somehow, I guess, to come on back. He thought he was a running back, and I proved to him in the St. Benedict game he wasn't a running back. I gave it to him 4 times inside the 10, and he couldn't score. He said I called the wrong plays, which Garrett took most of my wrath when it came to offensive line, when things weren't going real well. I've heard him say to some of the guys and coaches, why does he always look at me? And I guess I just kind of felt like he was the leader of that group, that he should get us in the right cause and in the right things. He was our senior. Most people know that was a big question mark we had, was our offensive line coming into this year. We only had him returning. Thanks to a lot of young kids and other guys, our offensive line actually became pretty good. But a lot of it started with him, and him doing the things it took to be a champion up in the offensive line. Garrett's family's been wonderful to us, wonderful to our football program. They hosted a great dinner the other night for our seniors, in which we just got to sit down as a group and watch the state championship video again and harass one another and enjoy the moments, though, of winning a championship. Garrett is the most laid-back individual on our team. Easy come, easy go. He went down in the state championship game, and I have to be honest with you, it hurt me to see 63 laying down there. There's one place that's hard, not that we didn't have somebody prepared for it, but to come in against a team that's as physical as them and to make all the right calls would have been tough on a young kid. And Micah did it very, very well for the time he was in there. But Garrett, I went back in the training room at halftime and talked to John, and Garrett said, Coach, I'm going to go, I'm going to finish this thing. And John said, if he wants to go, we'll let him. And he was one-legged, but he finished the course, and I think I even saw him have a little yell in him and a little hop at the end of the game. And it was a thrill to see his smiling face and squinting eyes when I got to hug him after that game, because he's been a warrior for us for several years, and I'm so glad he gets to end on top. Garrett Vaughn. Justin Curry. Big Justin. This guy kept me grounded. He's the kid that I could get on all the time, but yet he just smiles at me. And you wonder sometimes, is he saying that you really mean this, Coach? But he worked so hard in the off season to try to get himself ready to go this year, because August is tough on a big man, isn't it, Justin? Team camp and Justin just don't go together. And he tried so hard to get himself prepared, and he worked harder than anyone getting ready for it, and it just, I tell you, that heat doesn't go well. We had a new coach on staff, and he said, I tell you, you've been bragging about this Curry kid. Man, I don't think he's even going to be able to make it to the first game. I said, Coach, just let me tell you something. Let it get cool. Just let it get cool. Sure enough, we got to that first game. He didn't play a whole lot that first game.
My ankle was hurt.
That coach was upstairs saying, Coach Freeze, I told you. I said, just let it get cool. Just let it get cool. Those rainy nights started coming. It started getting cooler, and I know most of you that were there remember his domination in the second half of that MUS game, playing up and down that line of scrimmage. And then as soon as it got cool and we could move him to the offensive line some too, we started seeing a little of his domination on that side too, and running behind him and Barrett Day and some of those other guys up there. But Justin he had the ability to, no matter how mad he'd make me because he'd walk to the line and look tired and look, when it came time for the ball to snap and go into play, big Justin Curry was ready. He could have been a fullback probably. I gave it to him one time and he stuck it in. And he goes down the record books for that. Justin's one of those kids, too, that been with me for so long, and I think he wanted to win this thing not only for our team but for me. And he went publicly and said that in a team meeting and also in some other places, and that meant a lot to me as a coach. And he's going to continue to play somewhere. Don't know where yet, but he's going to have an opportunity. We're going to find him a place to play because he's good at what he does, and we're going to miss Justin Curry. Joe Weintraub. This is the analytical part of our team. It's a very small portion, but this is it. He's the one that would, Coach Freeze, if we do at this angle, I finally just got to where I'd walk off. Joe. But I will say this about him. This is what I wrote in that paper. Joe Weintraub knows how to play the game with heart. Undersized, maybe not as much ability as the guys he lined up against. He was probably always outweighed 50, 60, 70, 100 pounds. But he played defensive end for us with reckless abandon. And he chased balls all over the field, and we freed him up to be what he is in our scheme. And he did it very, very, very well. And he truly left it all on the field. If you saw him after the state championship game, that's figuratively also and literally. He left it all on the field. But Joe Weintraub plays with heart. And if you could take his heart and put it in most kids, we'd have a championship team every year. And he had the heart of a champion. Thank you, Joe. Mark Farr. Shall we one more time for old time? You sure? That's kind of how we ended most Wednesday or Thursday practices. We would say if Farr catches this ball, we don't run anymore. He had great hands for a lineman, except for the time I put him in the backfield. Mark Farr. He is an ultimate team member. Never a time where Mark Farr didn't believe he could do something to help this football team. Whether it was encouraging, whether it was playing scout defense, scout offense, whether it was getting the start in a couple of games this year like he did and doing very, very well. He hung in there for years and years and years and worked hard in the off season so that he might have the chance to wear that Briarcrest jersey and to wear it with pride. And with pride he did. And Farr finished the course. He gave his best. He did what was asked of him. And you will never know, and he will never know, the respect he has from these teammates and from these coaches because of his attitude and the things he brought to this football team that are unspoken. Mark, I hope you hear me. We love you and we mean that. We're going to miss you. Appreciate it. He's also the champion at Royal Panda. How fast, Mark? 1:28. He can eat a whole plate of C13 in 1 minute, 28 seconds. It's our Wednesday night ritual. They have his picture on the wall. Wes Morrison. My first words about old Wes in that article were this. Wes is the kind of young man that still gives me hope in the future. And what I mean by that is I have young kids, and some of you have younger kids. And when I look at society, I get scared a little. But then I find a guy like old Morrison here. And I start thinking, maybe things will be all right. Never had a nicer kid play for me. And I know I've been hard on him, but I hope he knows on that football field I wanted him to play. And not a lot of you know this. He was out for the first part of the year with a knee injury. Came back, and we were struggling a little bit in some things we had thought we were going to do offensively, and we decided here's what we're going to do to give us a chance to win. And that's we're going to get our best linemen together, and we're going to put it in the hands of our 3 playmakers, and we're going to win or lose with it. And we started unbalancing people when we came to league time with ECS, Harding and Nose, and he was our unbalanced lineman, and got in and got to battle with those guys. I always knew what I'd get from him. He may not go to the right spot, and he may not get the right guy, but it would be 110%. Because of the kind of guy he is, the kind of family he represents. He does you proud, Mom and Dad. He is a testimony of what young men should be on and off the football field. And he gives me the feeling that things could be all right with people like him in this world. And Wes, we're going to miss you, buddy. I could talk forever about this football team and these kids. I know this is always a long night. We're going to take a break in just a few minutes and get the video ready. Those of you who want to stay around and watch it, feel free to. Those of you who have to go, understand. I want to say one thing in closing, besides thank you to everything, is the simple fact that we set before these kids, before the season, a mission. We felt like it was pretty plain and pretty clear. Our mission was to be the best football team we could be, to have a chance to play November the 23rd in Nashville. Those of you who had our fish fry remember that, remember it very clearly. They bought into it, they achieved it. They dreamed it and believed it, made it happen. And to them goes the credit, and to our coaches go the credit, to our parents go the credit. But we would not be very good stewards of what was given to us if we didn't give God the glory. He's been so good to our football program and to our kids. We bought into 1 Chronicles 28, the whole story of David wanting to rebuild the temple. And God said, you can't rebuild the temple, but your son can, Solomon. David was a great warrior. There's been many great warriors go before these kids. I could name a list of them: the Schmidts, the Rotes, the Hoppies, the Paces, the Taylors, O'Neills, Olsons, warriors that had a chance to go put the final cornerstone in the Briarcrest football program. The ultimate, the state championship, the final cornerstone. Many warriors had the chance before them. They did not, for some reason, one or the other, get it done. They were not blessed enough to get it done. They were blessed, but they weren't the ones chosen to put the cornerstone in. This group was. They believed it, achieved it, and we're thrilled tonight to be able to say and call them champions. And I want to say thank you for coming out and supporting us, our football program, and to God be the glory. Thank you.
Coach Rees asked me to let you know that it'll be about 5 minutes, and we'll be ready to go with the video. Coach Powers has an announcement he wants me to make. If I can find my glasses, I'll make that announcement real quick. It says, order forms for the final highlight tape with Sharon Watson video and Channel 3 and 5 news clips is outside by the bumper stickers, which we also have, proclaiming Briarcrest State Champions. If you'll just return the forms for the videos by Friday morning. Let's see, you can also feel free to pick up a bumper sticker for your automobile to show the Saints' pride. Limit 3 per family, but be sure and pick up one and put them on your bumper sticker. So in about 5 minutes, we'll be ready to go with the video. Again, thanks for being here. Go Saints.
Off of Briarcrest, number 19, Nick Cavalaris.
when you are with me, I'm free, I'm careless, I believe. Above all the others will fly. This brings tears to my eyes. 'Cause when you are with me, I'm free, I'm careless, I believe. Above all the others will fly. This brings tears to my eyes. My sacrifice, my sacrifice. I just want to say hello again. My sacrifice. Come on, baby, take a ride with me. I'm up from Indiana down to Tennessee. Everything is cool as can be in a peaceful world.
People know this world is a wreck. I'm sick and tired of being politically correct. I see through it now, but I didn't at first. The hypocrites made it worse and worse.
Looking down the nose is what people say. These are just words and words are okay. It's what you do and not what you say. If you're not part of the future, then get out of the way. Come on, baby, take a ride with me. I'm up from Indiana down to Tennessee. Everything is cool as can be in a peaceful world.
Places and meals in the USA get hip to what Martin Luther King had to say. I don't want my kids being brought up this way. Hatred to each other is not okay.
So Briarcrest will attempt the field goal. They'll put it down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a 28-yard attempt. Justin Sparks, the sophomore. There's the snap. Ball is down. Kick is up. And it's good. So 13 seconds remain in the football game. Briarcrest has taken a 24-21 lead on a 27-yard field goal by the youngster Justin Sparks, 5'9", 150-pound sophomore. So MUS has got its work cut out for him with 13.6 seconds remaining on the clock.
Money's good, work's okay. Looks like everything is rolling our way. Till you gotta look the devil in the eye. You know that bastard's one big lie.
So be careful with your heart and what you love. Make sure that it was sent from above.
It's what you do and not what you say. If you're not part of the future, then get out of the way.